What's up, ONID fam? I thought I'd make a fun lap guide of the Silverstone track with LMGT3. I'll be using the M4 BMW GT3 as my base car. It's quite consistent, and yeah, hopefully I'll give you some insights. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me in Discord. And yeah, have fun. And sector 1, before the start of the flying lap, you always want to make sure that you have a really good exit out of the last corner. So when you come through here, you really want to brake as a V shape rather than hugging this entire sweeping corner, so you get much better exit speed. And I always tend to take it in second gear rather than first, because if I try to avoid wheel spin, it helps me gain much better traction. And I can get on the throttle much earlier. Co-ops, I really like to use two braking points here. One is the Goodyear sign and the other is the start of the barricade right there. I usually brake 2 car lengths before the Goodyear sign. You can try hot lapping over and over, and you will find a suitable braking point that's really good for you. So what I do is I hit 100% brake pressure and trail immediately to the apex, and as soon as I get to the apex, I throttle. And that's something that I live by. It's that helps me a lot in most cases, is that you go for apex as a smoother in and you get a fast out, so you apex is equal to power. And coming into Maggots and Beckett's, I always like to hug to the right side to go for the entry rather than stick to the left side and go for entry, so that I maximize the track as well as go on a straight line. I hit the brakes in the first turn of Maggots and Beckett's, turn the car in, roll it. When I hit the apex, I throttle again. I try to cut this section, as this car does not have high downforce, and I do tend to go a gear down on this, and a smidge tap on the brakes to carry more speed into this corner. And then the same thing as well. You can either gear down here to improve stability under braking, or you can stay on the brakes and stay in the same gear and then exit out. Just one thing to note though, you can get on the power really early than you think. It just seems like you can't, but you definitely can. There's a lot of space, there's a lot of area you can get through, and even if the car tends to slide out, like, you have so much area on the left side. Now coming to stow, I really like to go to the edge of the track here and brake as the curb starts. So as the curb starts, I like to get on the brakes, and you'll notice that I will never hold the brakes for too long in this section, because you really want to trail to the apex, and the apex is a little deeper than you think. It always catches people off guard, trying to go on the throttle early and really messing your lap up. So as you get to the middle of the apex, you can throttle out in third gear, and you will get an amazing line out. Coming to Vale, everybody tends to go a little deeper on the brakes, but I wouldn't recommend that. I always brake a little earlier to the curb, so I get to cut this corner and then get a better exit out of the next one. So trail to the apex, hug to the left, throttle out, modulate the throttle, and something that I do again is gear up. You'll see me do this a lot. It helps with traction, it helps with getting on power earlier, it gives you better cornering speed. Now Abbey, it's a difficult one to get right. I would say you need to do a lot of practice to get in the turn-in side, because if you miss the turn-ins or you hit the wrong braking spot, you're gonna either go wide or you're gonna cut through the Abbey apex pretty harshly, and it tends to throw the car off. That time it didn't. Sometimes it just absolutely eats the car, so just need to be really careful about it. Before we get into the village, I just want to say you can take this line in a multiple different ways. You can cut like how I did. You can have a later apex. If you get a later apex, which is very hard to do by the way, you can get this entire section much faster. As you see that I'm struggling for grip when I'm doing this turn right here. I believe it's the farm that this is called, but if it's not, I apologize. This corner really tends to wear down your tires on the right side. If you get a later apex in Abbey, however, you'll have a much better line through this. You can get all the way around this section, and that really helps you even while getting here, because you'll be already on the left side, because there's the right turn coming up. You'll be on the left side. For the village, I use the curb start as my braking marker. Some cars you can go much deeper, they have really good brakes, but for the BMW I like to trail more, so and cut this section completely. Stay on second gear, and you'll see this curb. You want to hug this curb and then trail immediately and try to hug this apex right there. Next braking point I would say is this black marker right there. That's what I use. I go a little bit deeper when I'm on low fuel. This is a low fuel run, by the way. But if you don't have a low fuel run and you have heavy fuel, I would say brake just after you get past that line, the marker rather, sorry. And you'll see me do this a lot. Like, you'll see me trail the brakes. You really want to do this so that the car gets into the corner and not go straight, because if you hold the brake pressure too much, it engages ABS, and when it does that, your tire does not want to rotate. It just wants the car to stop because the electronics is helping it, and you just go straight. Coming to the left field section, like I said, second gear exit, don't hug the apex, and you're shooting straight for the finish line. So now I'll show you my lap at full pace.
Lap 2:01.17.
and I'll also show you the pit entry guide. You just want to take a note though that you don't want to hold the brake pressure while coming into for the pit entry, because it's a very sharp right turn, and if you engage ABS you're going to go straight for the barricade, so just keep that in mind.